I never thought my marriage would come to this. But here I am, married to Jason, 35M, for 3 years. If you ask anyone, they'd probably say we had a solid marriage, until you bring his mother, Linda 58F, into the equation. From the start, Linda made it clear I wasn't her choice for Jason. Not outright, of course. It was always in the little digs, the backhanded compliments, the subtle ways she tried to remind me that Jason had a family before me, and she was the most important part of it. At first I ignored it. Jason was my husband, not Linda. I figured she'd warm up to me eventually. I was wrong. It started with passive-aggressive comments. If I made dinner, she'd smile and say, "Oh, this is interesting." Jason always loved home-cooked meals. If I mentioned work, she'd sigh and say, "I just don't know how women juggle everything." I could never imagine prioritizing a job over my family. She never outright said I was failing as a wife, but she made sure I felt it. Jason's response? Just let it go. She doesn't mean anything by it. I let it go, over and over again. Then Thanksgiving happened. We hosted dinner for Jason's family at our house. I spent all day cooking. I wanted to impress them, to show them I cared. The moment Linda took a bite, she dramatically paused, put her fork down and laughed. Well, I guess this is one way to make mashed potatoes. The whole table went silent. Jason's sister looked mortified. Jason? He said nothing. I felt humiliated, but fine. Maybe she just didn't like my cooking. I could move past that. Then came the comments about my job. Linda didn't approve of me working full-time. She had very strong opinions about what a wife should be doing. "I just don't know how you two do it," she said one day while sitting in my kitchen, drinking coffee she didn't even ask permission to make. "I'd be so scared to rely on a career. Anything can happen. If something goes wrong, Jason would have to step up and take care of everything. That's a lot of pressure on a man." Translation? I should quit my job and become a stay-at-home wife. That was the moment something in me snapped. Linda, let's be clear. Jason is not my boss. He doesn't let me work. I have a career because I want one. And I don't need you reminding me that I should be grateful for my husband providing for me when I provide for myself. I said it calmly, firmly. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. But you would have thought I just punched her in the face. Linda's eyes welled up with tears. She covered her mouth like she was completely shattered. I was just trying to give some advice. You don't have to humiliate me. Jason walked in, just in time to see her crying. His reaction? He got mad at me. "Why do you always have to be like this?" She was just talking. "You embarrassed her." I was stunned. Embarrassed her. This woman had been tearing me down for years with little jabs, little digs, and I was the problem? I told him flat out, "I'm not apologizing for defending myself." Jason's face hardened. "Then maybe you should leave until you're ready to be reasonable." He didn't yell. He didn't argue. He just said it like it was a perfectly normal thing to do, to kick his wife out of her own home because she wouldn't grovel to his mother. I grabbed my bag and left. Jason didn't try to stop me. I drove straight to my best friend Sarah's apartment. When she opened the door, I barely got a word out before she dragged me inside, sat me on the couch, and handed me a drink. "Okay, tell me everything." I didn't even cry. I was too angry. I told her everything. Every insult, every time Jason dismissed me, everything. Sarah was livid. "You know this isn't normal, right? A husband who loves you doesn't tell you to leave just to keep his mom happy." I knew she was right, but still, there was a tiny nagging voice in my head whispering, "Maybe you overreacted. Maybe Jason just panicked." Then the text started. "Jason, I didn't mean it like that. Can we just talk? Jason, I overreacted. The house feels empty without you. Please."